Who are these people?
Well, good evening, good afternoon. My name, of course, is Angel Rivera, and I'm alongside Miss Witchy Perfect and Alex Knight. That means this is Angel in the afternoon. So we have a long one to talk about this week. We have a lot to talk about this week,
I don't
and
think you completed the countdown, though. I think you may have started a little
yeah,
earlier.
I know I did, but we needed. I wanted to start early. I was done, so thank you everyone for joining us.
I think the first thing we want to ask is Angel feeling better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have zero pain.
Good.
Actually, that's not really true. I have a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of pain, so I kind of lied, but I'm fine though. I mean, it's not a huge deal. So if you guys don't know, I'm recovering from. I was gonna say major surgery, but not really. It's just a minor little procedure I had in my mouth.
So minor dental surgery.
Yeah, it happened yesterday afternoon, literally, so about 24 hours ago. So I'm in good shape because what happened was Monday, real quick, because I want to get to the show. I was eating a bagel. Apparently, it was too hard or something happened, but I lost a tooth in this area over a year ago. But the little root was still buried in there, so I ignored it because it had no pain. Then, yet on Monday, I bit down on the bagel, ended up there. It's like that was like the worst pain I ever had in my life. I don't know how I
Mm.
didn't scream,
It was
but
probably
yeah,
a sinus who did that.
Oh my
yeah, I
god.
blame them. But yeah, anyways, after that, by about 30 minutes later, I'm calling my dentist. I had an appointment for Wednesday. My primary dentist, they sent me to an oral surgeon, recommend or referred me to one. That was yesterday. I went in the morning. Basically, they told me I needed to come out. So by that afternoon, I'm having the procedure done. So it happened pretty quickly. Yeah,
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, usually it takes you forever and a day to get in to see a dentist anyway.
yeah. That's why I consider myself kind of lucky there because it's like the pain happened Monday. I'm calling my primary. I'm in by Wednesday. I'm in with an oral surgeon by Thursday morning, and I'm having the procedure done that afternoon at 3 o'clock. So it's like it was out by within less than a week after I had felt the initial pain. So I'm one of the lucky ones because I've heard some horror stories about dental work and how long it takes to get in with a dentist and how long it takes to get with an oral surgeon, let alone a dentist. So
Mhm.
how
Thankfully, I
long
can
it?
just walk to my dentist. It's just a few minute walk. It's just a couple
Oh,
blocks.
shut up, little brother.
No, I'm the truth.
No, no, it's that's a good thing. Whereas our horror story real quick is
Uh huh.
my son went to 3 different dentists before we even got to the people who could actually cap his and why would you cap baby teeth? Why are you capping baby teeth? I don't understand. Why do you do this?
I
Why?
don't know.
You just fill them in, right? When we were young, Angel, they would just fill in the cavity, right? They would just do it right
Yeah, they
there.
would. Yeah, they would put filling in.
Yeah,
So
they would put filling in, not cap them, because they're gonna fall out anyway. They're gonna fall
yeah,
out anyway. So I was like,
so
"What are you doing?"
if you have a cavity, you just drill out the cavity, put in filling, and the tooth is fine.
And the
Like,
tooth is fine. But for
mm,
some stupid reason, well, okay, so my son is on the spectrum, right? So I get it that they have to they'll have to put him to sleep because he would not sit there and let them, you know,
yeah,
do the
yeah,
filling.
uh-huh.
I understood they had to knock him out, but why? I don't understand why they would cap baby teeth. And we had to go to 3 different dentists just for them to tell us, "Oh, you have to go see this other dentist." I'm like, "Then why did we come here? Why are people telling us to come here when you can't do anything?"
Oops.
I'm already like
Yeah,
upset because, my son has to be knocked out for this whole crap. And it
yeah,
was horrible coming home because it was all right, honey. We'll go to McDonald's. We'll get you some McDonald's. You did such a great job. I don't want to go to McDonald's. Okay, well we'll go home then. I don't want to go home. Oh God, just kill me. Just shoot me in the head. Uh,
yeah,
I don't ever
yeah.
want to do that again.
Basically, they numbed. They put in 3 different injections right there,
Yeah.
I didn't feel anything from here all the way up to my ear, pretty much. So I was completely numb.
That's why they tell
And
you not to eat anything afterwards. Because you
oh,
could
well,
bite right through your cheek because you can't feel it.
My surgeon was like, "You're." Within 5 minutes, he dug in there, like he put like a little like knife or like a needle in there and kept. And
Sorry.
even with all the anesthesia and numbing agents, it still hurt a little bit. Like it still hurt. It's like, but he told me if it hurt.
The only dental surgeries I ever had was having wisdom teeth pulled twice.
Oh no, I have all my wisdom teeth.
Yeah, I have them all. I have them all out
straight.
too.
They came in straight.
Eventually, it popped out rather quickly, and it was like, oh, it popped out, great. All he said was, "There's no antibiotics. There's nothing, no treatment." It's like, oh, just take acetaminophen, which is Tylenol. Ironically, Tylenol is over the news right now, but let's take 4 when you get home and 4 more when you go to bed. That's 8, and you'll be fine. It's like, all right, I'll listen to you. I'd never taken 4 at once, but
I was gonna say I took 3. I take 3 every month, but that's because I have severe female things. Yeah, like I've never taken 4, but I mean 4 and 4 is 8. But I mean, I'm like, that's 3 days of hell for me. 3 days. So I kind of have to like watch how oh, you can't take more than 8. Oh shit.
Yeah, you can't take more
3.
than 8 in a 24-hour period, or else then it's like you're risking liver damage. But
yeah.
But yeah, I took 8. I haven't taken one today, even though I do have a little bit of headache, so I might take a couple later after.
Okay, let's get on with the show.
Sorry.
Yeah, so that was my experience this week. I initially was going to cancel, but it turns out it wasn't that bad, so that's why I'm like, I did the shows. Anyways, so I'm planning to do the show today. I'm not sure you want to do pro wrestling talk tomorrow or not. I mean, I have one meaning to ask you, but
I definitely want to do it.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Yeah, I'm asking you.
Oh, yeah, I'll do it. I have to go into work early. That's why I have to be off at 8:30, but
yeah, that's fine. Well, and Sunday, me, Alex, and David are planning to do a MLB season-ending special so that's coming Sunday
we're
as
not
well.
going to be able to watch opening day next year.
It's on Netflix. It's actually on Netflix. So
unless you have Netflix.
My mom has Netflix because she watches Raw every week.
Is that the one that's going to be replacing ESPN now, and it'll be on Netflix?
Probably, yeah. I mean, I would assume.
Because in this case, I'd rather still have ESPN, because we thought maybe it'd be NBC taking over, but no, I don't.
Yes.
I'd rather still stick with ESPN.
Yeah, it's
not ESPN Plus.
No.
I have to check.
ESPN regular.
Oh,
yeah. I have to check out the contract again because I think they're moving to NBC too, but they're also on Netflix.
Why the fuck does Rob Manfred not want fans to watch their games? I don't understand.
They don't care about the fans. It's all about this. It's just it's the same with TKO and WWE. Again, they criticize Vince McMahon for, oh, how dare you bring poor people into here? They don't want poor people. They want rich people to, gamble on their games, and they want, just poor people to just go away because we're just cockroaches to the rich.
Yeah, so let's get started. We'll talk more about baseball on Sunday, but we'll definitely get to all that. So this actually broke last night.
They really needed 6 people to do this article? Really?
Yeah.
Well, apparently they couldn't get it right the first time.
Including Caitlin Collins, which is their big star anchor over there. So
who looks like a man. She looks like a man.
Yeah, she does, but I wasn't the one who said it.
Hey, he, she, whatever.
And emotionless Caitlin Collins, or whatever the nickname I have for her.
It kind of looks like she had too much plastic surgery, and her muscles don't work on the face.
She can't express it.
But yeah, yesterday, former FBI director James Comey was indicted. Let's see, for what? So I didn't really pay attention to this. Former FBI Director James Comey been indicted by a federal grand jury, an extraordinary escalation in President Trump's effort to prosecute political enemies. Comey, longtime adversary of the president, blah, blah, blah. First senior government official to face federal charges. One of Trump's largest grievances, the 2016 investigation into whether his first presidential campaign colluded with Russia.
No. What's much worse, what Comey did by letting Hillary Clinton go in 2016. That was much worse.
Yeah, that was much
Well,
worse.
and they are coming all over themselves on Fox News about this.
Yeah. Justice in America, one of the worst human beings in this country.
No.
One of the worst human beings in this country has been exposed to as James Comey, former corrupt head of the FBI. Trump wrote in a Truth Social post. Let's see. Comey's been charged with giving false statements and obstruction of a congressional proceeding. He could face up to 5 years of prison if convicted.
Good.
The elite, everybody in Washington lies to Congress. So if you're indicting people for this, you got to indict everybody in D.C. pretty much for lying to Congress. So it's not just Comey.
His daughter was responsible with the Diddy case, or not Diddy.
For Diddy getting off, because they're all pedophiles. Yeah. They all hang out with each other.
Yeah, both charges are connected to September 30th, 2020 testimony in the Senate Judiciary Committee. A source told Jake Tapper that the indictment for lying to Congress is related to the FBI's Arctic Haze leak investigation, related to classified information, ended up in 4 different newspaper articles.
Remember, Jake Tapper is his real name, not his porn name, as should be
Yeah, so the issue is there was a leak of classified information. That's what the government doesn't want. They don't want leaks anymore. So they're cracking down all that shit. Appearing by Zoom, Comey asked Julian Assange, by the way. He put out classified information, spent 10 years in prison for it.
Yep.
And Crystal Ball was laughing about it. Remember?
That's because she's a pedophile too.
Appearing by Zoom, Comey testified that he had not authorized someone to be an anonymous source in news reports. The indictment said that statement was false. I didn't know about any of this. This was kind of, surprising to me. Comey responded to the indictment in an Instagram video saying, "Let's have a trial and keep faith." You'll have a trial. Trust me.
Yeah, he'll have a trial. None of us would.
My heart is broken for the Department of Justice, but I have great confidence in the federal judicial system, and I'm innocent.
Yeah, you're rich. You're not innocent. You're rich.
Attorney General Pam Bondi said on X, "No one's above the law," which is the same thing.
Except for Pam Bondi and every fucking other pedophile that she's literally hovering for with the Epstein files. Where are the Epstein files, Pam Bondi? Oh, I forgot. You're a fucking pedophile. Suck you, bitch.
Pam Bondi, I'll try to do the best accent I can with her. There are multiple files and documents, just disgusting images of Epstein,
Oh, she fucking, she jacked off to it. She was jacking off to that shit. It.
I hear something in the background.
Probably an ice cream truck. You got an ice cream truck back?
Yeah, I'm trying to lower. I'm trying to lower this as much as I can in the settings of the mic.
I read a funny comment saying Pam Bondi has GTA 6 on her desk or something like
that. Today, indictment reflects in the Department of Justice committing to hold it, blah, 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 responsible, abuse position of powers like that. Those who abuse position of power is accountable for misleading the American people, Bondi wrote. We will follow the facts in this case.
Including you!
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, basically, he's been indicted.
Where are our viewers? Where are they? Where are they in the chat?
Maybe they got lost.
They'll start trickling in soon enough.
Well, and I want to say real quick, to answer your question, little brother, my dad doesn't think that Fox News is talking to him because he doesn't consider himself poor. I went, Dad, you think we're in this mobile home because we're rich?
So, basically.
That's one big club, and we ain't in it.
We ain't in it.
Yeah, so basically, that's James Comey being indicted. There's MSNBC is claiming that the Department of Justice and FBI, the grunts, the officials that work there, can no longer function and are set to resign as a result of the indictment of disgraced James Comey. Many in the
shut down?
RBN.
Many of the DOJ feel they no longer can function and are trying to leave. Same with the FBI. So there's allegedly going to be mass resignations in the Department of Justice and FBI, which good. I mean, I don't.
Yeah, good. I
all
mean,
those.
the FBI and CIA are the
It's-
reasons why we don't have
still
Kennedy,
there.
Robert Kennedy, or John Kennedy.
No, the channel's still there, John. It didn't get shut down.
Now, don't scare me like that. I like RBN. Anyway, blessed
I
be,
don't
John.
know. Yeah, thank you for joining us. I don't know whether they've been shut down or not, but I don't think so. Because I was watching Nick yesterday, I think.
Okay, so then the channel, whatever, they just had to disconnect or whatever happened. But no, the channel's still there. So.
I assume so.
Because watch it. I mean, with this supposed they're gonna stop the censoring on YouTube, I went, yeah, right. Sure they will.
There's always going to be censoring.
Yeah. So let's see. Yeah,
I'd rather have the right to censor. You know what I mean?
What's this? I don't know why that downloaded, but
I was gonna say Max. Max would never miss me saying "suck a dick."
There's one.
yeah, true. Hold on, let me. People are shocked. Yeah, as everybody knows, TikTok has been taken over by I was gonna honestly, I just say it, Jews.
Oh, the egghead guy.
Yeah. So
interesting bad cookies.
What we can also mention is Israel now controlling VPN or no ExpressVPN.
ExpressVPN, they're controlling, yeah.
And,
of course they are.
And also Starbucks laying off hundreds of stores.
Here, switch your screens. Switch.
Starbucks added. Starbucks shut down a lot of stores. By the way, most of them were unionized, so they're conveniently closing all the stores that were unionized.
Of course they are now, because fuck unions.
Jax responded to you again, so you might just so you check out.
Okay, I'll worry about that later. It seems like she's upset at me for dismissing Cal's season, which I'm not. It wasn't my intention. I'm just saying, Judge had a better year overall, So. I already, I'll look at that later. Anyways, TikTok is threatening to ban my account for posting that John Stockwell, former CIA agent interview, where he talks about how the CIA plans fake stories in the press. So, this is this video, by the way, because I did download it.
Take a look what he looks like, just in case if people don't know.
It kind of looks like that. What the fuck's his name?
No, not him.
I
was talking to Angel. We should see. Just in case if people don't know what he looks like.
All right, let me do that. Hold on.
Of course. I mean, just because YouTube says, oh, by the way, we're so sorry about COVID, we're so sorry about censorship. Yeah, they don't care. They're going to censor as many people as they fucking want.
Other functions,
that
however,
dude. Yeah,
some of them more
No, not.
Yeah,
no, No, I wasn't thinking of him. No, the TikTok guy.
Oh, well, that's okay. This is from the 80s, and I know Jimmy Dore showed this several times. And yeah, this actually was literally shut down too, even in the 80s.
Yeah, so this is CIA agent John Stockwell, who explains exactly how the CIA...
Nothing Yankees. John Carlos stand to run over.
He's gonna have a great postseason. We'll talk about that more on Sunday. This is CIA agent John Stockwell, who explains exactly how the CIA plans fake stories in the press. So, I mean, I downloaded it that way just in case it gets banned off the internet for whatever reason. They
shut down Nick Fuentes. Well, I guess now that
they shut down.
Yeah,
they shut down Fuentes and Alex Jones on YouTube.
But now Nick Fuentes,
and David Crowder. You mean Steven Crowder?
No.
Anyway, I don't know.
I'm just saying. And now Nick Fuentes has switched for whatever reason.
Switched what? Switched genders?
No, he switched his stance. He's now a son pro-Israel, or
Of course, he got that phone call. Hey,
that's what I was just saying. He got the phone.
Hey, stop sucking Destiny's dick for a second. Okay, stop.
Yeah, he's trying to get back on YouTube. But yeah, I downloaded this video off Twitter, so somebody has it just in case. But yeah, he talks about exactly how they plan stories. So
There are other functions, however, some of them more legitimate than others. One is to run secret wars, the covert action that's written and talked about so much, like what's happening in Nicaragua today from Honduras. Another thing is to disseminate propaganda to influence people's minds. And this is a major function of the CIA. And unfortunately, of course, it overlaps into the gathering of information. You have contact with a journalist, you will give him true stories, you'll get information from him, you'll also give him false stories.
Well, give me a concrete example of how you use the press this way. How
This was big during Russiagate because the CIA would just plant false story after false story after false story, and the media would run with it. Why? Because occasionally they get a true story from the CIA, so they take their chances. Like, let's just run with it and see whether it's true or not. Oh, it turns out it was bullshit, and I lost my job. Well,
Remember the ad either a couple of few years ago when that woman working for the CIA, she was explaining like, "Oh, I'm so proud working with the CIA as a woman, you know, and all that, you know, the identity politics ad."
Yeah, they're all, but
Doesn't mean dick. Doesn't mean that. Oh, I'm such a great woman because I'm the first woman with the CIA.
Doesn't literally either. I'm just kidding.
There's literally former CIA agents in Congress now, so it's like at least 2 that are former CIA agents now in Congress. So
false story is planted and how you got it published.
Well, for example, in my war, the Angola war that I helped to manage, 1/3 of my staff was propaganda. Ironically, it's called covert action inside the CIA. Outside, that means the violent part. I had propagandists all over the world, principally in London, Kinshasa, and Zambia. We would take stories which we would write and put them in the Zambia Times, and then pull them out and send them to a journalist on our payroll in Europe. But his cover story, you see, would be that he had gotten them from his stringer in Lusaka, who had gotten them from the Zambia Times. We had the complicity of the government of Zambia, Kenneth Kaunda, if you will, to put these false stories into his newspapers. But after that point, the journalists, Reuters and AFP, the management was not witting of it. Now, our contact man in Europe was, and we pumped just dozens of stories about Cuban atrocities, Cuban rapists. In one case, we had the Cuban rapists caught and tried by the Ovimbundu maidens who had been their victims, and then we ran photographs that made almost every newspaper in the country of the Cubans being executed by the Ovimbundu women who supposedly had been their victims.
These were fake photos?
Oh, absolutely. We didn't know of one single atrocity committed by the Cubans. It was pure.
By the way, all those Cuban stories are all fake. I mean, he admitted to it there, too. They're all bullshit stories just to smear the Cubans and smear communism overall. So, all bullshit. He admits to it.
Bad cookies don't make me come over there. If I come over there, you are not going to like it.
But Angel, so I was saying, bring up that photo of that TikTok guy, because if in case if people haven't seen it, because
what photo? I don't have.
It's not Randy Fine, is it?
No, the egghead guy.
Egghead guy. Okay. So
yeah,
he doesn't look fat that. Like Randy Fine. Nobody's that fat.
I'll send you.
Yeah, send it to me. It's easier. Because I got other things. So that's that, you know. But yeah, I'm sure everybody's heard. This is more breaking news that broke today. In fact, the UK is planning to roll out digital IDs. So
get yours today.
Yeah. So they're planning to roll out digital IDs, and it's going to start pretty quickly. And this is the excuse. Well, we got to limit immigration. We got to limit illegals working. So in order to get a job in the UK now, you have to have a digital ID. And I guarantee you it's going to happen here in the U.S. Trump is going to push digital IDs and use that same exact excuse.
Because God forbid we let poor. But you know what's funny? ICE never goes after the employers. They only go after the employees. Imagine that.
What's funny about that? The UK press has been asking tough questions to these politicians, and they don't have good answers. And one of those questions was, why don't you go after the companies that hire these illegals? It's like, you know,
what a concept! Oh my God! Like how my brain is broken. You just broke the brain of every fucking politician who can't make up a fucking dumb answer because rich people rule the world.
Yep. So this is This is UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer announcing this.
Yeah.
Let me this. So he's, by the
And
way,
that is
part of
why
the,
today
he's
I am
part of the
announcing
Conservative Party.
this government will make.
Oh, this
So
scumbag.
this guy is the Conservative Prime Minister of the UK, and guess what? The Liberal Party is also pushing this too. So,
Well, yeah, they both.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work by the end of this Parliament.
Fuck
Let me spell
you.
that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that. Because
Go suck a
decent,
dick.
pragmatic.
this is him
Fucking
saying,
pedophile.
fuck you. You have to get digital ID in order to work. You don't
That
have
way
one.
we can
you
track
can't
everything
work.
you do,
I
and we
just need to
own
say
you.
something. Steph, is it the guy? Is he from TikTok? The egghead guy? Is it from TikTok or is it from somewhere else?
I don't know. I'm not on TikTok. I have no idea.
Well, yeah. I mean, I was seeing on Twitter. You know who I'm
Racist
talking about, right? The recent memes of that guy. You don't.
Nope.
Okay,
No.
let me keep looking. I think you guys have seen it, but I just gotta keep.
I might have seen it, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Fair-minded people. They want us to tackle the issues that they see around them. And of course, the truth is, we won't solve our problems if we don't also take on the root causes, looking upstream to tackle poverty, conflict.
You don't care about poverty. Suck a dick. All you
Yeah.
care about is that you'll go and get your next victim so you can fucking rape them and you won't be classified as a pedophile and go to jail for it, you fucking asshole. Go suck a dick. I am not getting a digital ID and I will work in the United States. And if that bothers you, rich people, go suck a dick. I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah, so this is broke today, and everyone is like, a lot of people are up in arms in the UK. I mean, it's like 1 million people. I'm looking for. Oh, here it is. This is the one. Bear with me. I gotta actually download it onto my computer because I can't play videos off the browser, or else it just lags like crazy. You guys have seen it, so it just lags like hell, and it's annoying to me too. So, whoops, wrong one.
So it may not have been from TikTok. It was probably from a different company or whatever it is.
It's okay, little brother. I'll just nod my head and agree.
I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
All UK citizens will have to have one. Well, the plan is that.
So, anyways, this is from the Liberal Party. I forget what they're called in the UK, but this is the alleged left-wing party, and she's pushing this too.
All UK citizens will have to have one. Well, the plan is.
So here's some tough questions from the reporter
we're
here.
going to roll this out by the end of.
No. My question is, what if I don't? What if I've got my job, so I don't need to show this to anyone? So what if I just don't do it?
So if you don't have one, then you'll have a problem if you want to get a new job.
No, I'm saying I'm not doing this.
No.
I'm not seeking a job. So why should I get the digital ID card?
No good answer.
Why do I do it?
You can't answer.
Is there some
Except for
fine
saying
not
we
doing
want
it?
to control all the
Is there an incentive to do it?
They're not going to do that.
I just think I've got no reason to do it.
Yeah, look, this isn't a heavy-handed approach. We're not planning to go around finding people, but what we are going
Yes,
to do
they
is
will.
make
Yes, you
sure
are.
that everybody.
That's a blatant lie.
Everybody.
They may not find people now, but they will down the line. Especially they don't see people doing it. And,
But he's got one in the same way, Charlie, as you've got a national insurance number. If you're a citizen of this country, we'll make sure that everybody has a digital
Okay, I just sent
ID.
you.
So help me with this. I know we're plotting through this, but
Okay.
so everyone watching who's got a job has got a national insurance number. So when
don't.
these digital
Of course,
ID
they have
cards exist,
Health insurance for everybody.
They're referring to their NHS, their single payer program.
Yeah, but
in
that's
the UK.
different. That you can literally move from job to job and you can still have healthcare, which we don't have in America. So
No.
the UK should literally be bowing on their knees, to the NIH that this will never be taken away from them, because people die in this country because rich people hate poor people. And
His
again, they're going
point
to do
is-
this in the UK. They're going to do this here. And it's because they want to track everything you do. They want to be in charge of your life.
His overall point is, I already have a national insurance
Cowboy.
number. Hey, Cowboy Kitty. I have a insurance number. So that means
Right.
I'm a citizen. Why can't I show that in order to get a job? And she has no good answers for this. She's still trying to sell this.
But why do you have to
If I
prove
just-
you are who you are? Even if you are a legal immigrant, why do you have to prove by a piece of paper that says what you are? We're all citizens, all of us, and we're all immigrants, unless you are Native American. So I don't understand, like, even a driver's license, it's still a license number that they can program into a computer and still track who you are and what you do.
Yep.
Just go to my employer and show them my national insurance number. Is that not sufficient? Are they being precluded from employing me?
It won't be sufficient. I just want to be really clear about
Wow.
that.
They can't employ
Go fuck
people
yourself.
But yeah, and only citizens of the UK have a national insurance, health
Yeah, it's not
insurance
like,
card.
by the way, United
that
States
solves the-
has it too. No.
That solves the problem right there. But it's like, oh no, you still need the digital ID.
Unless they've seen one
a
of these
digital ID.
cards.
Yes, that's right. That is the plan.
Well,
And
then
the
you can go
major
suck a dick. I
benefit
guess
of
I won't
that
have a job.
To the entirety of the UK is that we will therefore be able to disrupt the illegal market where people come to this
No,
country
you can't.
and
And
work
no, you
illegally and
won't.
undercut British workers.
See, that's how they're trying to sell this. It's
No,
like
you're
we're-
literally just going to cancel poor people and say, sorry, poor people, guess you can't work. Sucks to be you. Go suck a dick. No, you go suck a dick, you fucking pedophile bitch.
That's how they're desperately trying to
I think
sell
she
this.
does suck dick.
I'm sure she does. Probably two
All
or
right.
three, because that's how she got to be rich in the first place. She's sitting there going, but
She has no good answers.
Yeah, she might as well just go,
But-
we hate poor people to you.
All right,
She
so
has no
Angel,
good answers.
bring up the photo.
Hold on. I'll do it now before I get to the next video. But all right, hold on.
Whose
Oh, you
woman's
sent it.
language? Wait, what?
I think talking about you.
Me? Oh, you like my language? Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, damn. Hold on.
Look, I just can't stand it. The rich are literally, people are such sheep. George Carlin was correct. People are such
Him.
sheep.
Put it full
Come on.
screen.
Oops. I don't know why it does that.
That guy.
You
That
tell me-
guy?
Yeah. And he is from TikTok. And
Wait.
the other guy, him and Larry Ellis.
There you go.
That's the guy.
Yeah. So
He looks like a dick. He probably sucks dick too.
again, it does that every time. Like,
Okay.
yeah. So,
That's been going viral, by the way.
yeah. I've seen that, but I just didn't remember what it was. So let me get to the one more video here on this, and then we'll move on. So, yeah. Anyway, the left wing party is the Labor Party. I forgot. I just remembered now. But all right. Next
Yeah,
video.
the Labor
here,
Party.
and then-
That's right.
Yeah.
But not the party
I'm-
of, what's his name? Jeremy Corbett?
Yeah, he's Labor.
Corbyn, yeah.
Okay, the fact that you want to put the decline of this country on the fact that there's
First of all, I don't know why this plays automatically. And second of all, it's a little too loud. Anyways, this is a UK talking head who basically claims this is the start of a social credit system.
I'm sorry, I was laughing at what Bad Cookie said.
Let me lower that a bit.
okay, the fact that you want to put the decline of this country on the fact that there's a bit of paper washing around is laughable.
I'm not saying it's all
down
about that.
to your chancellor, nothing else. But apart from that, the problem with digital ID, and I read this article by Pat McFadden today, who's Tony Blair's mouthpiece, because Tony Blair wants this because he's going to make zillions from it, by the way. It's the only thing he talks about. There is only one line in this whole article which, for me, is absolutely critical, and that is that it's going to be so easy to do all of the things that you've just said. You can even collect your supermarket loyalty points on it. That is the scariest line in that whole article. You know why? Because eventually, Kai, when we have this whole thing where you can't do anything in society without your digital ID, not only will you be able to collect your supermarket points on it, which sounds all lovely, when you've eaten too much beef because you've overstepped your carbon footprint, it won't let you buy it at the tills. When you go to fill up your car, it won't let you put petrol in. And when you haven't been a nice person online, it won't let you get on an airplane. This is the start of a social credit system. It's wrong, and everybody should say no, and I will say no. We have a passport. They know who I am. That's enough.
Yes, 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 yes. Give that woman a raise.
Yeah, so I want to get...
And boom goes the dynamite.
Boom!
So the question I have is, once Trump bring this up and try to propose it, which he will at some point during his presidency, does MAGA fight him on it, or will they just fall in line?
Oh, Daddy Trump, we'll do anything you say.
Well, the fanboys of MAGA, yeah. But in terms of the ones who have already, like, I'm done with Trump, I'm
Yeah, those people, that say I'm done with Trump. But I'm talking the fanboys and all the MAGA sheep that still believe Trump is some kind of fucking superhero, which he is fucking not. He's a fucking pedophile who literally should be in jail, taking it up the ass from another pedophile-loving person. All I'm saying is literally you have people in MAGA. I mean, I'm surprised Alex Jones isn't trying. That digital ID, man. We got to get that digital ID so the rich can just watch us every time they release, take a piss and take a shit.
That's Snow's job to impersonate him.
I'm sorry, I can't do a very good Alex Jones because I can't stick my head up my ass that far.
So I saw it here somewhere. I don't see it now, but Vietnam is also pushing
we should also bring up how Charlie Kirk's wife was introduced and at the funeral or whatever it was with the sparks and all that stuff that was going on.
Yeah, fuck her and her fucking Nazi little spawn.
Yeah, I'm not gonna play it here, but she had fireworks like Cody Rhodes basically when she came out during her funeral.
Or
so during her husband's funeral.
Wasn't she also trying to kiss Donald Trump and suck his dick? I'm asking for a friend.
Well, she did forgive the shooter. She said.
Yeah.
Right, sure she did. Mm-hmm. If you can even believe that this dude, because this dude is saying he's not guilty now. He's saying, I didn't do it. He's probably the scapegoat anyway. Get better psyops, guys. Get better psyops.
Full screen.
There we go.
So
now we're cooking with gas.
I wanted to show this. Vietnam is trying to push digital IDs too, and allegedly there was about 86 million bank accounts of non-compliant citizens who refused digital IDs. Anyways, allegedly they those bank accounts were deleted.
Oh my God. Yeah, I'd be kicking somebody's ass.
Yeah, so 86 million bank accounts of citizens that don't want digital IDs were deleted because of non-compliance at digital ID systems. So
really, Alex Jones? Okay. Good. Alex Jones, go suck a dick. Okay. You're me.
There you go.
And you're a duty head.
Yeah, so that sucks.
Here we go, guys. I mean, the stuff I was watching on the one website, I don't watch it anymore. It's called The People's Voice because he was also a Trumper and sucking Trump's dick. Literally was talking about the fact that they want to roll out digital ID. Or a better example is James Corbett. James Corbett, awesome dude. And talks about digital ID and the fact that the rich people want us all on digital ID so they can track everything we do. And you will own nothing, be happy, and eat the bugs, guys. You will not eat meat. That will be a delicacy, and you will rarely eat it. You won't eat dairy either.
Yep. Well, oops. This is, as everybody knows, the U.S. has gonna give $20 billion bailout and debt purchase with Argentina because everybody knows Javier Milei is the president there, and he's crashed his economy to it is all his libertarian policies to the point where he needed a bailout from the IMF. He took a bunch of money from them, and now he's trying to get a bailout from the U.S. directly. So, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent warned speculators that Trump has given President Milei a rare endorsement of a foreign official.
Can I just I hate to sound stupid or anything, but when it comes to soccer, what is a MILF?
MILF
Yeah,
in
I don't know.
soccer.
in soccer.
I don't
I
know.
don't know.
Okay.
I've heard of
But I'm
MILF.
not the only one. My son said it the other day, and I went, I know what the porn one is because my ex told me what that was, but
I know what a MILF is, but I never heard one related.
yeah, I know what a MILF is in porn, but I mean, because my ex is like,
Oh.
you know what that is? And I'm like, no, and I don't go seeking it out either.
Well, it came from American Pie. First time I heard it back in '99. But and all I'm getting here is soccer mom.
Yeah, I just searched. Yeah, it's just soccer mom.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine. But my son said,
Oh, okay. They're saying could be meaning man, I love football. MILF. That's or man, I love.
oh, like soccer, but they call it football.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, that makes sense. All right, so any doubts of the extent of the support of the United States has decided to provide Argentina were dispelled yesterday. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent announced before the markets opened, the White House has negotiated with the government of Javier Milei over a $20 billion currency
I
swap
cried at the Jerusalem wall.
to strengthen the central bank's reserves with the purchase of Argentine debt bonds and a significant standby credit via the Exchange Stabilization Fund. The amount, which has not been specified, Argentina has the tools to defeat speculators, including those who seek to destabilize Argentina markets for political objectives. Bessent wrote on social media, implying that Washington could also react if attacks suffered by South American countries' pesos and bonds last week are repeated. The Treasury Department announcement comes the day after Trump and Milei met on the sidelines of the UN General Assembly in New York. Before the meeting, Trump has said that the Argentine was a truly fantastic
What'd you say?
and powerful leader for the great people of Argentina. That's what it says there.
No, it's Argentine.
Okay. Who has advanced at all levels at record speed. Trump has also offered Milei's complete and total endorsement for re-election as president, despite the general election still more than 2 years away. How the hell is Milei winning a second term? I don't know, but after what he's done in his first term. Milei's time is rather short. On October 26th, there are national legislative elections, and a defeat could be devastating for the market confidence in his austerity model. The president has been cleared about what could happen since September 7th, when Peronism swept local elections in the province of Buenos Aires, and the Argentine peso and bonds came under fire. The attacks only ceased last Monday when the United States made it clear that it was willing to do, quote-unquote, whatever it takes to support Milei. Bessent has now given indications about the aid Washington is willing to provide. The $20 billion swap is the most concrete. From that sum, the $5 billion from the Buenos Aires China line will have to be deducted. Argentina's cancellation of this swap is a priority for Washington, which since Trump returned to the White House has embarked on a campaign to limit Beijing's regional influence. Aid to Milei is part of a much broader strategy. So they want China out of Argentina, basically. What's the whole point of the U.S. doing this? Yep.
It's China.
They want the U.S. out.
China.
They want China out.
By the way, Alex Jones. No.
The purchase of debt bonds and dollars is another pillar of the bailout, although Bessent clarified negotiations will begin after the October 26 elections. It's unclear how defeat or victory for Milei will affect the talks. As Peronism wins again, Argentina faces months of great economic instability. Argentina's economy minister was the first senior official to react. Of course, he sucked up to Bessent. Minutes later, Milei thanked Trump for the gesture with an unusual restraint. Thank you, President Trump, Secretary Bessent, for your strong support and confidence in the Argentine people, he wrote. To close, he replaced his customary "Long live freedom and damn it, long live freedom, damn it" with MAGA. First evidence of the
You
markets.
mean long live fascism? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The first evidence of the markets that received Bessent announcement enthusiastically was the collapse of Argentina's country risk. That is, the spread it pays on the debt over interest on U.S. debt. The index, compiled by J.P. Morgan Chase, fell from just over 1,000 points at Tuesday to close at 839 points at the opening, a drop of almost 18%. It's still far from the 500 points from a year ago, but it represents a notable improvement over 1,500 points that it reached last Friday, in a speculative attack on the Argentine peso and bonds. So the U.S. is going to bail out Malay, just like the IMF did, because they
Get the
ultimately
fuck out of here, bad cookies.
so
Of
20
course.
so $20 billion of our taxpayer money is bailing out Argentina instead of bailing out the American people, but that's not going to
Oh,
happen.
just Brian Kilmeade just wants to kill poor people. Brian Kilmeade
Yeah.
said that.
So whatever reason, you have to bail out Argentina for some reason. It's
Our universe is doomed! Doomed!
Bad cookies try to kiss my ass, although you have a far reach, by the way. And I don't think you want to mess with my man. He's like, nope.
Let's see. So where is it? As everybody knows, Venezuela is being bombed by the U.S. over.
It says Dominican Republic.
Yeah, I know, but I get to the point. Because they've been bombing, so apparently, Dominican Republic is trying to suck up to the U.S. and the Dominican Republic says it seized cocaine that was on the speedboat destroyed by the U.S. Navy. So basically, the Dominican Republic is backing up the U.S. story that original speedboat had cocaine in it.
No,
even though there was it. So they're trying to back up the U.S.'s story on that. So
I said this to my dad. He was watching Fox News, and he was saying how all illegals are doing drugs. They're all criminals. I went, I think you got that backwards, and you might as well be looking in a mirror. Actually, it's the rich who are the drug pushers, and they're the pedophiles. They're the criminals. Oops, got that backwards.
let's see the chat.
They're bringing drugs. They're bringing crime. They're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people.
Well, sorry.
That's
I
what-
think all rich people, if they're going to say all poor people are criminals and doing drugs, then all rich people are pedophiles. Prove me wrong, motherfuckers.
Authorities in Dominican Republic said Sunday they had confiscated some of the cocaine transported by the speedboat that was destroyed recently by the U.S. Navy, as the Trump administration carries out a controversial anti-narcotics mission in the Southern Caribbean. How did they know that was the cocaine from the speedboat? I mean, that's my question. I mean, they might have found cocaine in the ocean, but I don't know how they know it was from that speedboat in particular.
They found it in the crack of the dude's ass.
We're going to see a lot of cocaine in GTA 6.
I'm sure. In a press conference, the Dominican Republic's National Directorate for Drug Control said it recovered 377 packages of cocaine from the boat, which was allegedly carrying over 1,000 kilograms of the drug.
My ass cheeks.
I don't know where that cocaine came from, but I don't know how they know it came from that speedboat in particular, because I assume they bombed it. So all that cocaine had to be destroyed if there was cocaine there. I don't know how they found all these packages of cocaine perfectly
unless they planted it there, which probably
That's
they planted it there. Mm-hmm.
And now the Orioles have taken the lead.
Bad cookies. I don't think that's true, because
they can't afford.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, the Yankees can't afford to lose, because if they do, the Blue Jays win the division, and we're playing the wild card round. Anything can happen there.
Against the Red Sox.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting series. If
they turned around and sold it. Yeah, I believe that, bad cookies, and I also believe that they probably planted it, and then got it all off so they could, on the way back.
I don't care the perk having U.S. colonized Puerto Rico, as they can't call me an immigrant. And not me personally, because I hate the fact that Puerto Rico is colonized by the U.S. I can't speak English right now, but there's a lot of Puerto Ricans who. I've seen more and more videos of Puerto Ricans basically looking down on Mexicans and
Maybe we
Central
should have this in
Americans.
Spanish. That would be easier for you.
Central
The
Americans.
show's in English. What can I do?
It's Central Americans because they're Puerto
1,000
Ricans
kilo
and they're
out there,
citizens.
Elmo.
Yeah.
Hey, I feel bad for Puerto Ricans because they're being kicked out, just like in Lahaina. I can't even speak English. It's my first language. In Lahaina and Maui, just like the poor people there are being kicked off the islands. Same with Puerto Rico. The rich are taking over, guys. I don't know how else to, divvy this up.
Yeah, and ICE is doing operations there like crazy. They really are in Puerto Rico because a lot of Dominicans, like, they cross into Puerto Rico through like dinghies and stuff. So there's a lot of Dominicans in Puerto Rico that don't have papers. So that's why ICE is there and have all their operations, spend a lot of money there to pick up Dominicans pretty much, or Haitians. Like, it depends.
Yeah, or Haitians, yeah. Because, Haiti's such a great place to be. Not.
No, yeah. Oh, and there's I hate to get into this, but Dominicans are pretty racist against Haitians. In fact, do we know what they did? They built a wall across their border, just like Trump wants to do here. It started doing here in the U.S. So they took Trump's policy and put it in their country and built a wall to make sure
And put it on steroids.
Yeah, they built an entire wall on their border to make sure Haitians don't get in. Because what would happen is, before the wall, Haitians would go across the border. They would work in Dominican Republic and then cross the border back into Haiti. So now that can't happen because they built that giant wall, and Haiti's not doing well. I mean,
No.
it's in horrible shape. That's why they crossed the border into Dominican Republic in order to work. But yeah, that's not
Elmo,
So,
I always knew you
I
were a
digress.
freaking drug addict. That high-pitched voice. I love Elmo. Do you love me?
Officials
You're
said
a
the boat.
cokehead.
Officials said the boat was destroyed about 80 nautical miles south of the Isla Belta, a small island that belongs to the Dominican Republic. They said the Dominican Republic's Navy worked in conjunction with the U.S. authorities to locate the speedboat, which was allegedly trying to dock in Dominican Republic, used the nation as a bridge to transport cocaine to the United States, allegedly, by the way. This is the first time in history the United States and Dominican Republic carry out joint operations against narco-terrorism in the Caribbean. The director has said in the statement. That's not a real thing, narco-terrorism. They just added that just to call drug dealers
Sound more
terrorists,
important.
basically.
That's what George Carlin says. People
Yeah, that's
add
not-
words to sound more important.
That's not a real thing, narco-terrorism. That's something Trump made up, so everybody started using it, the administration. In August, the U.S. sent 8 warships and a submarine to the Southern Caribbean, which Trump administration said it was a mission to fight drug trafficking. So there you go. Dominican Republic is backing up the U.S.'s story on the speedboat having cocaine. Again, I don't buy that, because if you bomb a speedboat like that, even if it has cocaine, it would just blow up and dissipate over the ocean. You'll see a bunch of cocaine in the ocean, but not in perfectly sealed packages like that. So I call bullshit on that.
I told you they planted it, and then we're like, no, I'm sorry, I gotta take that back. I got people I gotta sell to because I'm a rich fuck and a pedophile.
Let me go back to this. There's a video here, so it's 30 seconds. Hopefully it's not laggy, but it probably will be. So there's the alleged cocaine bag. By the way, hold on, go back. By the way, look how perfectly packaged it is.
Yeah.
There's no way, if you bomb a little dinghy like a speedboat, that cocaine be perfectly packaged like that. Just wouldn't be.
It was planted.
I don't care. It
Here
just
you go.
wouldn't be.
Look at our cocaine. Here's the
It's perfectly good cocaine.
The Dominican Republic is desperately trying to back up the U.S. story. It's like, you see, we found all this cocaine in the ocean, and somehow it belonged to that speedboat, which the U.S. bombed a week ago.
I thought.
Please don't bomb us.
I thought he was Netanyahu for a second.
Probably sucks his dick.
Okay, well, Angel, you're gonna have to translate what he's saying.
Yeah, I don't see subtitles.
Yeah, he's saying what I said. Basically, the Chiron says they found 377 packets of cocaine in this operation. So it's the same thing I pretty much read in the article. But so this is all the alleged cocaine they found. which I don't buy because, like I just said, if you bomb a ship or a boat or a little dinghy like that, this cocaine would not be perfectly packaged like this.
This
So,
this
yeah, that-
reminds me of the I forget what country it is. Oh, El Salvador, I think, when they got those guys off the plane, and arresting them and taking that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, those guys that were like supposedly gang members.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh wait, yeah,
allegedly.
gang members. My ass. They're like this. They're literally like this. Gangbangers. I meant to say gangsters are like, suck my dick. Yeah. These people look defeated. I mean, honestly, it's literally the Dominican Republic is going. Please don't bomb us. Please don't bomb us. I know we're brown people, but please don't brown us. Do not bomb us.
No,
That's all they're doing. Okay, you want me to
co-
suck your dick? Okay.
They're cooperating with the
all they're
U.S.
doing.
because they want eventually they want money from the U.S. and they want support from the U.S. So that's why the government's currently supporting them. But let's get to Venezuela here. A shadowy special operations ship spotted off Venezuela. The U.S. military is building up growing.
You can play the audio instead. I just saw the audio clip pop up.
Well, hopefully the AI isn't terrible here, but
shadowy special operations ship spotted off Venezuela. The U.S. military is building up a growing force of naval and aviation assets within striking distance of Venezuela, prompting speculation about the administration's plans and its current activities. It is already carrying out drone strikes on drug-running boats linked to Venezuelan smuggling groups, and a rare vessel sighting in the region suggests that more gray zone.
I hate that because he's not saying alleged. They're asserting that what the administration is saying is true. So
kinetic operations may be in the works. The vessel in question is an open secret. U.S. Military Sealift Command operates an 11,000 DWT cargo ship called Ocean Trader, which began life.
Which is this one? It looks like a cargo ship, but really it's a U.S. Navy. It's not a destroyer, but it's like a special ship, like a mystery ship that they have. I guess it's for surveillance.
I love how they specifically know that the drugs are coming from Venezuela.
Yeah, it's another thing
they
claim.
know. I'm like, come on, fuck you.
That's another thing that they claim.
As a European row/row ferry. The RFP for its procurement included requirements fitting a special operations sea base, landing capacity for heavy helicopters, accommodations for 160 supernumeraries for 45 days, underway replenishment capability, an onboard SIV, machine gun mounts, and launch and recovery capacity for jet skis and ribs. After 12 years in Navy service, this modified merchant ship still wears its original white livery, but is never spotted working cargo, never inspected by port state control officials, and never broadcasts its position on AIS since 2017. Previous in-person sightings suggest that Ocean Trader's name and flag state are not marked on her stern, and her IMO number is displayed in unusually small text. On Sunday, open-source researcher Mount Anderson spotted Ocean Trader's characteristic hull shape, size and color in satellite imaging of an area southwest of St. Kitts. The last sighting of the vessel was off Bahrain in May 2025, suggesting that Ocean Trader got underway for Venezuela well in advance of current developments. Is a secretive U.S. Special Ops mothership operating in the Caribbean? New satellite imagery raises questions. Analysis of Sentinel-2 imagery from September 20, 2025, shows a vessel with a highly unique fore and aft superstructure almost identical to the MV Ocean Trader, pic.twitter.com/rr1rixu1g. Mount Anderson, at Mount_Anderson, September 21, 2025. Other analysts have confirmed that the appearance of the ship in Mount Anderson's satellite imaging conforms closely to previous known images of Ocean Trader. The Ocean Trader is usually spotted near hot spots for special operations activity, like Somalia. Her presence off Venezuela raises questions about her current mission set, as well as any future plans for her use. The vessel is the stealthiest element of a growing armada in the area, to include the destroyers USS Stockdale, USS Sampson and USS Jason Dunham, cruiser USS Lake Erie, LCS USS Minneapolis-St. Paul, the amphibs USS Iwo Jima, USS Fort Lauderdale, and USS San Antonio, and attack sub USS Newport News.
Jesus, why are all those destroyers and Navy ships there in the Caribbean next to Venezuela?
So
they're
they
planning
can
an
fuck
invasion.
with socialism.
They're planning a full-scale invasion. And that's more evidence. More evidence of that is not Pete Buttigieg. Who am I thinking of? The Secretary of War, Hexeth.
By
He's
the way,
meet.
Angel just sort of wanted to say Aaron Judge is done it yet again.
The Yankees need to win every game if they're gonna win the division.
Saying
what
Judge has done it yet again. So
yeah.
Well, I think it's funny how they have jet skis because when you're busting into Venezuela, you need to have a little fun on the side, with your jet skis.
More evidence of the invasion is Hexeth ordering all the brigadier generals and all the admirals of the U.S. military in a meeting. So apparently this is very rarely happens. So obviously there's a major military play about to happen.
Yeah, how dare you have socialism and communism in this world?
Most likely the Trump administration is planning a full-blown invasion of Venezuela, which is why they're having this meeting, and all these destroyers and all these mystery ships that they have are in the area because they're planning a massive invasion. And Venezuela is going to become our new Iraq and Afghanistan. They're going to have to occupy it for decades.
Yeah, because I've heard too many people say, well, how dare they have our oil under their land? I mean, can you imagine these poor people just don't know what they're doing? Fuck you, rich people.
So, so let's see. So this is them admitting. This is like, I saw this on Monday. It was like, oh shit, they're finally admitting the truth here. The U.S. official says regime change in Venezuela is the real goal of military action in the Caribbean. U.S. officials have told
now leading 6-3. So, yeah.
I mean, this is literally because they've been saying they tried when they knew that they failed with Juan Guaido to take over Venezuela. Guess what? Now they're going to do a full-scale invasion and people are going to die, and Trump doesn't really care. Rich people don't really care. They just want more oil so they can suck more dick and rape more kids.
U.S. officials have told the New York Times the real goal of the military buildup in the Caribbean and the bombing of boats in the region is regime change in Venezuela. The policy is largely being driven by Secretary of State Marco Rubio, of course, who has long wanted to remove Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro from power. Back in 2019, when the first Trump administration attempted to back a coup against Maduro, Rubio posted a photo on Twitter of former Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi in the moment he was being brutally murdered, an apparent threat to the Venezuelan leader. So that's definitely a threat because by posting that, that's telling Maduro that you're next. We got Muammar Gaddafi in Libya, and now you're next. And by the way, Libya has open slave markets. Tripoli has open slave markets for the
now
first
because
time
of the
ever.
U.S. Yeah. And I agree, Elmo. Yeah, how dare they use their oil money to improve the lives of their citizens? They should just treat them like shit, like we do here in the United States, and just die, poor people. I'm going to inject you because you're just a poor person. Ugh.
So,
fuck rich people.
Stan hit another home run. This time it was
all right, stop bragging. The Yankees suck.
They're getting hot in the right time, which is what I like to see in going into the postseason. The Trump administration claims that Maduro is the leader of a drug cartel. No evidence, but it has not produced any evidence for the charge. Maduro and other Venezuelan officials have forcefully rejected the accusation and have pointed to data that shows the majority of cocaine is produced in Colombia and doesn't go through Venezuela. There be no reason for that. Venezuela is not the direct route to Florida or to Puerto Rico, so that makes no sense. You would rather just do it to Puerto Rico and then get into Florida after that. President Trump has also framed the military campaign in the region as a response to overdose deaths in the U.S. due to fentanyl. But fentanyl isn't produced in Venezuela. It doesn't go through the country on its way to the U.S.
Fentanyl is actually, it comes from right here. Yep. White people do it. Stupid.
The Times. Look, here's the thing. If they wouldn't be a market here in the U.S. for drugs, they wouldn't bring it here. But there is a market. Why? This entire episode, we can have a conversation on it. It's a combination of hopelessness in the country. It's a combination of, just people being poor and people homeless. They have nothing better to do. So they get offered heroin or cocaine or whatever. They get addicted to it. They have a permanent customer base. So it's a major.
The thing is, and what what I can't get through to my father is that they want to generalize, and when I mean they, I mean rich pedophiles want to generalize and say, well, all homeless people and immigrants are drug addicts, and that is not true. They are the working poor. There are people who are homeless. A majority of them are working and they cannot afford a home because the homes are like $1 and $2 million for a small family home. So
Yeah.
again, the generalization of who's going to take all these drugs that we get from other countries, Mr. and Mrs. America, and that's why yes, there are more drug dealers that are rich and druggies that are rich and never get in trouble for it. Why? Because again, they are paying off the police who are just lapdogs for the rich to look the other way. That's why you never hear of drug busts from rich people. You never hear of that. Why? Because again, police are paid to look the other way. Now, all I'm saying is that, I mean, yes, there are some people on drugs and homeless, but according to Brian Kilmeade, we should kill all poor people. And he didn't mean just the homeless. He meant all poor people.
To be fair to him, he did his show, and I think he has a primetime show too now, and he apologized. He apologized for it.
Yeah, he apologized, and all was forgiven.
Steph, did you say Mr. America?
Mr. and Mrs. America.
Yeah, he said Mr. So.
So
you got that reference.
At least I didn't say Captain America.
No,
Who doesn't exist?
You know why I said Mr. America, right?
Oh, Mr. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, his character. Several current and former military officials, diplomats, and intelligence officers say while fighting drugs is the pretext for recent U.S. attacks, the real goal is to drive Mr. Maduro from power, one way or another. So their little coup attempt from Juan Guaido failed. So
they don't kill how many. Let's try that again. They don't care how many Venezuelans they kill to literally point the finger at them and say, well, socialism doesn't work, and here's why. No, you invaded a country that was working just fine because you don't want socialism, because you want to control everybody. You want our kids to rape, and you want to control everybody.
And now Kamala's calling Trump a socialist or a communist or whatever.
That's because she's an idiot, and she's also a pedophile.
And the reason why she said that is because the U.S. is buying stock in all these companies, which is a socialist policy technically, but Trump is not doing that for socialism.
And you wonder why
he is. He's doing it. He's doing it for socialism for the rich. So they're trying to prop up stock prices.
And you wonder why she didn't win.
Yeah. So the U.S. is basically trying it by having the destroyers and all their ships there. It's basically this, like,
surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I know where that's from now.
I do too.
Oh, I didn't know where it was from until I saw.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was from until what's his name said it. Stevie Richards was talking about it. I'm like, wait, what?
Bring up Elmo's comment.
Yeah, I dare Brian Kilmeade to walk down Sesame Street.
100% true. He apologized because he got caught, not because he felt bad for his statement.
Well,
the U.S.
began. Everyone was blowing it up. Just real quick. I don't think Jimmy Kimmel was funny. I don't like Jimmy Kimmel, but he said a whole lot less. I mean, Brian Kilmeade said worse than Kimmel ever said in his whole fucking career.
That's true.
Literally, that when Brian Kilmeade said we need to kill him, he was talking about all poor people. He wasn't just talking the homeless. He was talking all poor people. And it's refreshing kind of to see that the rich are literally saying the quiet parts out loud, but he did not get kicked off his show. In fact, he got another show for it. So what does this prove? This proves that you can say, I want to kill poor people on your TV show and then just go ahead and, oh, well, I didn't mean that. Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Anyway. It's a funny part about that Rachel Maddow Kamala Harris interview when Rachel Maddow's like, why didn't you pick Pete Buttigieg? Or it was in her book. It's like, because he's gay. And Rachel's like, because Rachel's gay too. It's like, what? It's like, how could you say that? It's like, well, I mean, come on, Rachel. She had nothing after that. She completely fell
Remember when
apart.
Kyle Kalinske said that she ran a much better campaign than Hillary did?
Well,
Remember
he's a
when
lunatic.
Kyle Kalinske
So,
didn't suck dick?
yeah, he's a lunatic. So, the U.S. began bombing boats allegedly running drugs in the Caribbean. According to numbers released by President Trump, at least 17 people has been extrajudicially executed by the U.S. military since the campaign began. U.S. officials have said that Trump administration is considering direct strikes on Venezuelan territory, which will lead to a full-blown war with the country, obviously. One U.S. official speaking to Axios suggested that the U.S. military buildup in the region could lead to a Noriega Part 2, which I brought up Noriega last week, referring to the 1989 U.S. invasion of Panama, which led to the ouster of Manuel Noriega. And other U.S. officials hope that the pressure of $50 million bounty Maduro leads to assassination.
Oh, go suck a dick. I hope it leads to assassination of Trump, actually. A real one, not these stupid fucking fake ones where he's blading his ear.
Yeah.
How do you like that, motherfuckers?
And also that they tried to assassinate him again not too much.
Oh, yeah, and that guy's like crying like, that was all bullshit anyway. They literally, some guy showed up with a gun and they said, oh, he was waiting for Trump. He was waiting for Trump. Trump wasn't even there. Trump wasn't even there.
But what's even more disgusting is how Destiny doesn't feel any, he's just so, like, mean and just rude about, like, yeah, I'm glad these people died, the Trump supporters, like what he's been saying lately. You know what I'm talking about, Angel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kirion says, told him Crystal's got balls. There you go.
And Crystal Ball is so stupid.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what. That's what her husband. Oh, you're so stupid. Oh, you're so stupid. He was coming in his pants.
So this I talked about this earlier. U.S. War Chief summons hundreds of generals and admirals for urgent meeting. U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth has ordered hundreds of U.S. military generals and admirals stationed around the world to an urgent meeting scheduled to take place at the Marine Corps base in Quantico, Virginia next week. There are approximately 800 generals and admirals in the U.S. and the U.S. bases worldwide. Jesus, do we need 800 generals and admirals? I mean, my God.
Oh, we have about over 1,000 bases, and that's just the ones we know about.
We have bases in 100+ countries around the world. I've seen that map. I forget how many exactly.
Yeah, Jimmy George showed that in the video.
Yeah. It's and those are the bases we know about. By the way, there are so many different like clandestine bases and secret ones around the world too. So that's the only ones we know of. 800 generals and admirals in the U.S. and the U.S. bases worldwide, and sources told the Post that Hegseth's order applies to every senior officer with the rank of brigadier general or rear admiral and above. The directive has been described as highly unusual and possibly unprecedented. None of the people who spoke with the Post could recall a defense secretary ever ordering so many military generals and admirals to assemble like this, the Post reported. The reason for the meeting is unclear, and even the generals and admirals are reportedly unaware of the purpose. The meeting may be related to Hegseth's recent orders for major changes at the Pentagon, including a directive to reduce the number of 4-star general officers by 20%. Let's see. Another possibility is that Hegseth is ordering a meeting to prepare for senior military officers for a new war of major military escalation.
That's just awesome.
That's what I think too. They're planning a major invasion somewhere. I guess it's Venezuela, but it could be somewhere else in the world.
You see this? You see this? That's the evidence right there. Right there.
Yep. A congressional aide said, speaking to CNN, said unless Hegseth plans to announce a new major military campaign or a complete overhaul of the military command structure, I can't imagine a good reason for this. So what, they're going to fire the Joint Chiefs of Staff? That's not going to happen. There's something else going on. There are several areas around the world where the U.S. could potentially launch a new war, including Venezuela, as the U.S. has deployed a fleet of warships to the Caribbean and has began bombing boats in the area under the pretext of fighting drug trafficking. Though the U.S. officials have told the New York Times the real purpose of the deployment is regime change, the U.S. and Israel could be preparing to launch another war on Iran. So that's probably a likely scenario too, that they're planning to invade Iran. Boots on the ground, invasion, stuff like that.
Do these guys ever get tired of starting wars over and over?
No, because the rich people are too busy raping our kids. And they
Yeah,
distract us with this stupid bullshit.
The U.S. has maintained a hardline policy against the Islamic Republic since the ceasefire ended the 12-day war, and tensions are soaring in Eastern Europe between Russia and NATO. President Trump has also recently floated the idea of retaking Bagram Air Base in Afghanistan, also re-invading Afghanistan again, an idea that required military force since it was rejected by the Taliban. The War Department may be also looking to turn military operations inward, as President Trump recently declared Antifa as a domestic terrorist organization. So that's possible too, that they're planning some sort of military operations here in the U.S. So,
Hi, Earl and CBC, and no, they're just because they're late, they don't have to suck a dick.
No, don't worry about that. Later on Thursday, both President Trump and Vice President J.D. Vance downplayed the meeting. It's not particularly unusual that generals who report to the Secretary of War and then to the President of the United States are coming to speak with the Secretary of War, Vance said. It's actually not unusual at all, and I think it's odd that you made it into such a big story. So that's from the Vice President.
Vance. Why don't you go?
By the way, J.D. Vance, he was responding to someone on X, and he actually embraced the bald head Vance meme. He actually did that.
Right. This is important. So that's not a big deal, according to the administration.
I think we're up to 5 there, Kieran.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not keeping count. I forgot, but
I think we're up to 5.
Trump says, and this is important. Trump claims and says he will not allow Israel to annex the Israeli-occupied West Bank.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he did say this.
Like, I believe he's not on the Epstein files either.
He did say this yesterday, but I don't believe him at all. I completely do not believe
maybe
he
meant the Israeli bank, not the West Bank.
Yeah, so it's basically this.
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. Do you understand that?
That applies to Trump just as much as it applies to Democrats, So I don't remember who he's referring to. I assume it was Democrats.
The people. No, when he was saying I was talking about Iran.
Okay, well, he's referring to Iran. An Israeli official said Netanyahu will discuss the idea of annexing the West Bank when he visits the White House next week. He'll get Trump's mind right on that. And when the meeting is done, is like, oh yeah, I mean they can annex the West Bank if they want. President Trump said on Thursday he will not allow, quote unquote, Israel to annex the Israeli-occupied West Bank, which, by the way, would be the right policy, but he'll backpedal on that rather quickly.
But why would he say that now? I mean, he's been truthful about his war plans, especially about Israel and his other.
Yeah.
Why would he say this now?
He's gonna let Israel finish the job.
This is all conning the mugs. This is all.
Yeah, he said he would let Israel finish the job at one point, which is exterminating whatever Palestinians are left. So now he's like, oh well, I'm not gonna let him.
Oh no, I meant that I was gonna tell Israel what to do.
Yeah, I don't know if the intention is he wants the U.S. to annex the West Bank so he can build Trump's dream city there. I don't know whether that's probably what he really wants.
Netanyahu gave him a standing ovation, and then he sucked his dick.
Comments that came after reportedly made such a pledge during a meeting with Arab and Muslim officials in the sideline, the U.S. General Assembly in New York. I would not allow Israel to annex the West Bank. It's not going to happen.
Not for me.
Let's see. I'm not allowing Israel to annex the West Bank. There's been enough. It's time to stop now.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's quote unquote what Trump said. Israeli officials have been discussing the idea of annexing part of the West Bank in response to several Western countries recognizing a Palestinian state. Oh, by the way, now a lot of Western European countries are recognizing a Palestinian state after being completely destroyed and eviscerated, and whatever Palestinians are left are starving to death or being murdered by the IDF. Now they're recognizing a Palestinian state when it's far too late.
Can't think of the guy from the popular tag team. Partner with Kofi Kingston. What's his name again?
New Day, Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods. Remember, he's like, now now you want to come back? Now it's like,
Yeah.
now you want to recognize Palestine?
Of course. This is
Uh-huh.
all professional wrestling, guys. Now Trump is trying to become a babyface again because he was a heel for so long.
Yeah,
Fuck!
that's random. While some Trump officials had signaled the U.S. wouldn't oppose the plan, a senior Israeli official told the Times of Israel the Trump administration has privately cautioned against the idea. However, the official said that Israel did not feel the warning marked an end of the discussion. Of course not. It was just like, hey, you shouldn't do this. But yeah, you can still discuss it if you want. It's not like he said, you shouldn't do this or else we're taking away your funding. Now, that's different. And that would rock Israel, especially Netanyahu's government.
Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Not in a million years.
Yeah, that's different. It's like, you shouldn't do this, but we're going to let you anyways if you want. And there's a difference between
as
that.
Hillary would say, cut it out.
Yeah. Or a difference between that and this. Or if you try to annex the West Bank, we're going to take away all your funding and we'll possibly, take you out, Netanyahu. So, you know what that means, by the way. On Thursday, Israeli Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar said that Israel won't consider annexing part of the West Bank administered by the Palestinian Authority, but may implement Israeli, quote-unquote, Israeli law, whatever that is, on Jewish settlements, which are illegal under international law. There's no intention of ever discussing the annexation of Palestinian Authority territories because we don't want to control the Palestinians, Sa'ar said. Bullshit. They definitely want to control them or murder them.
It's like the WWE crowd when they say bullshit, bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Asshole. Asshole.
Yeah, that too. So I don't know why. That's a blatant lie. It's like,
Why the fuck you lying?
it's a blatant lie.
Why you always lying? Oh my god.
Dude, I can sing better than this dude. I can sing better than you. By the way, it is almost 8:30. I'm sorry, y'all, but I do have an early morning. I got to go in to work early. So
Okay.
I will say goodnight now. And remember, everyone, suck a dick.
And go Yankees.
All right. Yeah, so tomorrow's Pro Wrestling Talk. We'll be doing that at 8 o'clock.
And
Pro
also
Wrestling
remember to download the clips, Angel. So
Right, I got to do that. Yeah, I'm
either
going to
download
at
5
least.
of them or more, whichever.
Yeah, I'll probably do 5 at least. I don't know if we'll get to all of them, but whatever we do, we'll get the week after. So I guess good night. We'll see you
Good
tomorrow
night.
for Pro Wrestling Talk.
Yep.
All right, so let me continue with this. We'll probably go another half an hour, then I'll wrap up anyways. What can be discussed hasn't been decided. Implementing Israeli law on Israeli communities located there, not under the Palestinian Authority. While Israel hasn't formally annexed the West Bank, it continues to expand settlements in the territory, which requires forcefully displacing Palestinians. The Trump administration has backed Israel's recent approval of the major E1 settlement, which Israeli Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich, we know that motherfucker, will say he will erase the idea of a Palestinian state. So there you go, Smotrich, that piece of shit. He's involved in this.
Did you
of course.
see CBC's response?
That. Yeah, I talked about my dental emergency earlier, CBC, but yeah, I mean, it was interesting. And I feel lucky because by Monday I had the pain, and by Thursday I got the tooth out. Yesterday, I mean, and I've heard horror stories about dental emergencies and how long it takes before you even see a dentist, let alone an oral surgeon. And I got lucky. I'm grateful for that, and I was able to do the show today, even though it was just a simple procedure. Let's see. Oh, by the way, Israel's bombing Yemen again for no reason because Yemen didn't do anything to them. Israel launches major airstrikes on Yemeni capital, killing at least 9. The Israeli military launched major airstrikes on Yemeni capital of Sana'a, I believe that's how you pronounce it, on Thursday. An assault that came after a Yemeni drone struck the Israeli city of Eilat. So, okay, now I'm sure Israel says self-defense, but they attacked Yemen first. So, and you shouldn't be surprised that Yemen attacked you back. As the Houthis have vowed their attacks on Israel won't stop until there's an end to the genocidal war in Gaza. There you go. Yemeni Health Ministry spokesman Anis Al Abashi said that the Israeli attacks targeted civilian, service, and residential facilities, causing damage to a number of homes. He said that at least 9 people were killed, 174 were wounded, but there's a preliminary death toll, and that is expected to rise. Among those killed were 4 children and 2 women. Footage and photos from Yemen's Al Masharya TV show significant damage to residential areas, Sana'a, and Yemenis, including children being treated at the hospital. So that's the building that was attacked. It's basically reduced to rubble. I assume there's people buried under that rubble, which is why the numbers are preliminary. They'll probably find more dead and more injured in the coming days. The Israeli military said the strikes in Sana'a involved 20 warplanes that dropped 65 munitions on several targets it claimed it belongs to Houthi security intelligence apparatus. Of course, now they're claiming that every building has Houthis in it, so they have to bomb them. Where have we heard that before? Israeli media described the attack as Israel's largest yet on Yemen, even though the IDF recently killed 31 people at a newspaper offices in Sana'a, which we covered at the time, marking the worst massacre of journalists since 2009, according to the Committee to Protect Journalists. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz said on Thursday's attack, Israel, interesting first name there, on Thursday attack was the fulfillment of a threat he made the day earlier after the Yemeni drone attack hit Elyat, which wounded over 20 Israelis. Katz, who has been threatening Yemen with biblical plagues, claimed that the strikes eliminated dozens of Houthi terror operatives and destroyed stockpiles of UAV and weaponry. The Houthis, officially known as Ansar Allah, have maintained a defiant tone in the face of ramped-up Israeli strikes or attacks. According to Yemen's Saba news agency, the Foreign Ministry of Sana'a-based government said after the latest Israeli attacks that Yemen will continue to respond to the blatant Zionist aggression. It will continue to teach Zionist entity the harshest lessons. The Houthis are known for their resilience and did not back down in the face of a very heavy U.S. bombing campaign the Trump administration conducted from March 15th to May 6th, which killed more than 250 civilians. The U.S. gave up on trying to get the Houthis to stop their attacks on Israel blockade of Israeli shipping and agreed to a ceasefire with the group. That was quick. You gave up after, 2 months? I thought the U.S. would just bomb them to oblivion, but they gave up. I'm sure Netanyahu's pissed about that. Yeah, let's see here. Gotta be Macy. I saw Jimmy show the iPhone dude that did it to Charlie Kirk that I saw on Kim Iverson when it was first coming out. That's... Yeah, well, I mean, they allegedly... Oh, yeah, talking about Charlie Kirk, there was a shooting at a ice facility in, I believe it was Texas. And allegedly that guy is left-wing too, so... I say allegedly because there's very little evidence that he was left-wing. I don't know whether he's left-wing or right-wing. It doesn't matter. It just, at this point, it's like the administration going to say is leftist because they want to go after leftists. And we talked about earlier, Trump designated Antifa as a terrorist organization. So they definitely want to come after left-wingers now.
Remember when Trump was like, Antifa?
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Ooh. Let's do this. Israeli forces killed over 83 more Palestinians in Gaza over 24 hours. Again, every week I feel like we go through this stuff. How many died this week? How many died yesterday? Yeah, the IDF launched. The Gaza's health ministry said Thursday Israeli forces killed at least 83 Palestinians and wounded another 216 over the previous 24-hour period, as U.S.-backed Israeli strikes continue across the Strip. While telling Palestinians in Gaza City to flee south, the IDF continues to launch heavy attacks on southern and central Gaza and massacre families in those areas. So it's like, okay, go south. We won't attack you. Oh, we'll attack you anyways. Like, where are you supposed to go then? It's like, you're just basically saying, yeah, go here, go there, go here, go there. Make it easier for us to murder you. While telling Palestinians in Gaza City to flee south. Okay, I read that. According to the Associated Press, an Israeli strike hit a house and a tent in the central town of Zoraida early Thursday morning, killing 12 Palestinians. Among those killed were a couple and their 5 children, along with 3 other children. So here is the, I think this is where they bombed. I mean, it's all rubble. Gaza is completely destroyed. The AP reported that in their Deir El Bala, the central Gaza, an Israeli strike hit a tent, killing a girl and wounded several other people. In the southern city of Khan Yunis, an Israeli strike hit an apartment building, which killed a man, his pregnant wife, and their 10-year-old child, and another female relative. Just taking out entire families now, blatantly. It's like,
But remember, Hamas, the evil.
Yeah. There must have been Hamas in every single apartment building and every single building in Gaza. That's their justification for destroying Gaza. Meanwhile, in Gaza City, Reuters reported that Israeli forces deepened their offensive into the city. Israeli goals involve cleansing the city, quote unquote, of its Palestinian population and razing every building to the ground. While hundreds of thousands have fled south, Palestinian officials says over 900,000 remain in Gaza City. So, yeah, they're intending on murdering every single one of them or forcing them south. So, as Israel continues to slaughter in Gaza, President Trump and other U.S. officials are claiming a ceasefire deal could be close. What kind of bullshit is that? There's no ceasefire deal. Netanyahu is going to go to the conclusion, which is cleansing the Palestinian problem. There's no sign of the U.S. putting any pressure on Israel to agree to its end of the genocidal campaign. President Trump continues to provide military aid to Israel, which it needs to sustain its military operations in Gaza, and recently approved another $6 billion worth of arms deals that could be funded by the U.S. Again. So we're looking at trillions of dollars to Israel in funding this genocide. Gaza Health Ministry said that the violent death tolls on October 7th reached 65,502, and the number of wounded climbed to 167,376. Studies have found the ministry's numbers are likely a significant undercount. I'm sorry, you don't need studies for that. It's definitely an undercount. I mean, it's 100% an undercount. I've been plucking grass on my pad to motivate my Kentucky bluegrass to grow. My neighbor probably thinks I'm on something. Well, you do what you got to do to get that perfect grass to grow out, but that does sound a little bit weird. But let's see. So, anyways, Israel is once again trying to attack a flotilla. Global Shamud flotilla receives warning of imminent Israeli attack amid calls to hand over aid. So this must be the flotilla. Several governments have warned their citizens participating in the global Shamud flotilla of an imminent Israeli attack, according to statements by the flotilla organizers on 25th September. The aid convoy, made up of dozens of ships intending to break the blockade on Gaza, sailed overnight through Greek waters and expected to enter international water within hours. That's when Israel probably attacked them. Activists reported that the drones hovered over one of the ships, that Omar al-Mukhtar, which carries a mobile medical clinic, and confirmed the fleet had already been targeted in 12 drone strikes that hit 9 vessels. Flotilla organizers said the mission will continue despite the threats, insisting on a need to deliver humanitarian supplies directly to the besieged strip, into the hands of the starving people. Italian Defense Minister Guido Grosseto condemned the attacks and announced the deployment of a second frigate 1 day after deploying the first to escort the flotilla, now joined by Spain, which has also contributed a military vessel to the expedition. Question is, will Israel bomb them and possibly spark a war with those two countries? That's the question, which they probably will, because Netanyahu thinks the U.S. protects him, which he's right about, unfortunately. He said the Italian frigate Fasan, previously north of Crete, was already en route to the flotilla for possible rescue operations. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's government has proposed handing over the aid to Cyprus, and the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem for delivery to Gaza, an office in the Catholic Church. Oh, it's the Catholic Church, which jurisdiction over Catholics in Israel and surrounding regions, to assume responsibility for the delivery. Oh yeah, let's just give it to the Catholic Church. It'll be fine. I think the Catholic Church doesn't have really a good history in Israel. or for the Palestinians at least. They also allegedly helped Nazis escape prosecution. Again, I don't know. That's allegedly. I'm not going to convict them of that, but that's a major allegation there. So yeah, this is the Prime Minister. Don't need that. I want to reiterate what I think about this matter because all of this is gratuitous, dangerous, and irresponsible, Maloney said in an interview. There's no need to risk one's own safety. There's no need to enter a war zone to deliver aid to Gaza, which the Italian government and the relative authorities could have delivered in a few hours, she added. You would not deliver that aid. What, giving it to the Catholic Church basically means that either they'll keep it or they'll give it to Catholics in other parts of the world. But they're not actually going to deliver that, chances are. Don't be fooled by Maloney's naval deployment as nothing more than a cynical ruse to demobilize the flotilla in direct coordination with the state of Israel that attacked us. We will reject this proposal, we will keep sailing, and we'll complete our mission. By the way, these people in the flotilla are mostly heroes. I mean, you have to have real bravery or backbone to do this because you'll most likely die. So it takes a lot of bravery to risk your life in that way in order to get this food to starving people that are being genocided. And so I give them all the credit in the world to those people. Her proposal aligns with Israeli demands that the aid be delivered to the port of Ashkelon, directly north of the Gaza Strip, so the aid can be transferred under Israeli supervision, which means it will not deliver the aid, or if they will, or if they do, is a trap to murder more Palestinians. So that we should not give it to Israel. Organizers of the global Shamud flotilla rejected the demands by both Italian and Israeli governments, saying our mission stays true to the original goal of breaking Israel's illegal siege and delivering humanitarian aid to the besieged population of Gaza. They described Tel Aviv's demands as part of Israel's long-standing blockade of Gaza rather than a neutral logistical proposal. They said the move was intended to obstruct relief and delegitimize efforts to challenge the siege. Since May 2025, after lifting a so-called total blockade, Israel has permitted an average only 70 trucks per day to Gaza, while U.S. UN agencies estimate that 500 to 600 trucks are required daily to meet their basic needs, the statement read. The Israeli Foreign Ministry wrote on X that the Hamas flotilla refuses Israel's proposal to unload aid peacefully at the nearby Ashkelon marina. Instead, it chooses the illegal path, sailing into the combat zone and breaching the lawful naval blockade. Really, the Israelis think that their operations are perfectly legal? I mean, either they're bullshitting themselves or they really think that's legal. Or they're blatantly lying and they know it's illegal, but they don't care, which is the third most likely scenario. The ministry accused the flotilla of seeking to help Hamas, of course. We could have guessed that. We could have fucking guessed that. They are accusing the flotilla of helping Hamas, which justifies them murdering and bombing them. Rather than deliver the aid, insisting Ashkelon is the only viable channel for humanitarian supplies, even as hundreds of trucks remain stalled just outside of the besieged enclave where famine continues to spread. So most likely those people are going to get bombed or something's going to happen where they're going to have to come back or leave before they get killed, which is unfortunate because, like I said before, they're very brave people for doing this. West Wing, Mrs. Sanoharo, measuring for new drapes.
That's what it's
going through what I call phase 2 in my illness, where I look at 40-pound boxes of litter and said no. I resulted to doing minor things like pick grass. Oh, well, there. There's so much with Gaza and stuff. So for some reason, Trump is demanding an investigation at the UN for their sabotage. He's basically turning off the escalator, which he's really upset about for some reason, which I don't understand why. I mean, that's a stupid reason to demand an investigation.
He's such
yeah, the administration is claiming, well, I mean, Trump could have gotten hurt, so that's why we want an investigation. They're serious about this. They're not really bullshit. It's not a sarcastic thing. This is interesting. If it loads, there we go. We got more U.S. military construction. This time, the U.S. launches construction of a joint military training center in Alaska. Let's see. Yeah, so the military needs more training grounds and more bases. The U.S. has broken ground on a canoe complex in Australia, Alaska, designed to prepare troops for high-threat conflicts and strengthen cooperative military training with allied forces. The Joint Integrated Test and Training Center, Elmendorf, or the JITTCE, will feature a single-site simulation environment that blends virtual and computer-generated elements to replicate combat across air, land, sea, space, and cyber domains. Space? I mean, we're gonna go to Star Wars now? I mean, I guess. I mean, but yeah, basically they're gonna put on VR headsets, and basically, that's how they're gonna train now in that base. It will use adaptable operator simulation stations and cockpits to identify different force configurations, allowing joint and coalition partners to rehearse complex scenarios, validate kill chains, and train under contested conditions. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Alaska District, which is leading the project, stated in a previous update the center will encompass 149,913 square feet, or 13,927 square meters. It will have a 2-story structure built for extreme weather. Well, yeah, it snows in Alaska, and it's horribly cold, so it's like you would need something like that. Plans include secure and non-secure simulator rooms, briefing areas, mission facilities, a central server room, an auditorium, administrative offices, and support spaces. I don't know why my voice kind of did that, but let's just move on. Constructions of the hub will commence in October, with projects slated for completion in fall 2029. So after the 2020 election, basically. The JITTCE is being built, a joint base, blah, 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 which is hosting the 2023 for its ability to support multinational force training. This is basically what's going to be at the base. So so we have to spend more money to build a new military training center for reasons, because we don't have enough of that already. So Americans, we need more lithium for our smartphones, computers, and tablets. So this is from Al Jazeera. Lithium America stock surges amid possible U.S. government stake. The U.S. government's reportedly considering much as a 10% stake in the Canadian company. So, of course, this is what the Trump administration been doing. They bought into Intel recently. So now they're planning to buy into this lithium company in Canada as well. So, of course, their stock price is going up. My theory is they're trying to prop up certain companies and increase their stock price artificially, which is why they're buying up a 10% stake in a lot of companies now. Unfortunately, the U.S. citizens won't get a single dime in dividends from just buying in. So don't expect any money from whatever dividends that are paid out to stockholders. The administration, the United States President Donald Trump is considering as much as 10%. Wait, the administration of President Donald Trump is considering as much as 10% stake in Lithium Americas. Okay, a Canada-based lithium mining company. Reuters reported on Tuesday that the White House considered taking a stake in the company, citing 2 people familiar with the matter. The possible investment comes as part of a $2.2 billion loan from the U.S. Department of Energy for the company's Thacker Pass mining project in northern Nevada, the largest planned project of its kind in the Western Hemisphere. So this is part of that deal where they buy into the company in order to, I guess, profit from lithium, because that we need that for our cell phones, computers, tablets, and whatever, or especially Tesla vehicles, or electric vehicles in general. They need lithium. So the Vancouver, British Columbia-based company confirmed on Wednesday that it has been in discussions with the Department of Energy and with General Motors over the Thacker Pass loan. So General Motors is also involved in this. Government stake. The move underscores Trump's increasing use of direct government ownership to steer strategic sectors and curb reliance on China, which dominates refining of many critical minerals. China produces more than 40,000 metric tons of lithium annually, ranking third after Australia and Chile. but it dominates refining, processing more than 75% of the world's lithium into battery-grade material, which we need for our tablets, computers, electric cars, cell phones, etc. The project is seen as a linchpin in building the domestic supply chain, part of Washington's long-standing drive to boost U.S. production of lithium, a metal used to make batteries for electric vehicles and other electronics, which I've mentioned twice already. The Trump administration recently moved to take a stake in the chip maker Intel, which I discussed last couple of weeks and earlier. That came on the heels of a deal that would make the Department of Defense the largest shareholder in rare earth firm MP Materials. So the DoD is also buying into companies. Jeffrey said the administration's preference for equity stakes viewed as lower political cost and tax increases that can support financing corporate profits and favorable returns on invested capital. Lithium America's Canadian and U.S. listed shares are both up 90% from $8.04 Canadian dollars to $5.78 Canadian dollars, and in $5.80 in the U.S. The company had a market value of $744.5 million as it last closed in the New York Stock Exchange. So here we go. The U.S. is making sure it has access to minerals because they also need lithium for their military, like their jets and their ships and their stuff like that. So, but that's why they're really this continues. GM invested $625 million in the mine last year for a 38% stake. Has the right to buy all the project's lithium from its first phase and a portion from the second phase for 20 years, although Trump officials are now seeking a guarantee that the GM will buy the metal. NBC FM research analyst said the MP Material Defense Department model shows how the government equity long-term offtake, blah, blah, blah. The Thacker Pass project expected to begin production in 2028, another 3 years from now. So we're all this investment for something that may not even happen. So, yeah. Vicky says, I'm really behind. Just catch up. I mean, eventually you'll get to this point. This is more of a local story for me, but the governor's race here in New Jersey is getting a little spicy. By the way, the election is November. Get rid of this. I don't care about that. Archives released too much of Mickey Sherrill's military record to ally of her opponent in New Jersey's governor race. So there's a controversy here because Mikey Sherrill was he Navy or Army? Hold on. A branch of the National Archives recently mostly released mostly
right?
Yeah, it's a she. Yeah, it's a she. I did. Oops. Democratic Representative Mickey Sherrill's military records to Nicholas DeGreggio, an ally of Jack Ciattarelli, their GOP opponent in the New Jersey governor's race. The disclosure potentially violates the Privacy Act of 1974 and exceptions established under the Freedom of Information Act. The documents, which are also obtained by CBS News, appears to show that the National Personnel Records Center, a wing of the National Archives and Record Administration charged with maintaining personnel records for service members and civil servants of the U.S. government, released Sherrill's full military file, almost completely unredacted, which is unusual. CBS News discovered the egregious blunder while investigating whether Sherrill was involved in 1994 Naval Academy scandal. Okay, so she was Navy, which more than 100 midshipmen were implicated in cheating on the exam. Sherrill was not accused of cheating and said her involvement was not informing on her fellow classmates. So in other words, the Navy wanted her to snitch on her classmates for cheating in that exam, and she wouldn't do it. So which is why she was been not allowed to because there was a graduation, she was not allowed to be a part of it because she wouldn't snitch on her mates, or classmates. So yeah, that's the scandal here. The documents included Cheryl's social security number, which appears on almost every page, home address for her and her parents, life insurance information, Cheryl's performance evaluation, and a non-disclosure agreement between her and the U.S. government to safeguard classified information. This is her, by the way. She's a Democratic nominee for governor here, which most likely she's going to lose, is my guess, because people hate Bill Murphy. I forgot his name. Who's the governor here? The only details redacted in documents are the social security numbers of her former superiors. The files appear to be the same one Cheryl requested in August 2017 from the National Personnel Records, or NPRC, according to signature verification page in the documents. Contacted by CBS, the NPRC told CBS News that a technician did not follow standard operating procedures for releasing records and should only release portions eligible under FOIA rules. A technician should not have released the entire records, Grace McCaffrey of the National Archives said in an email to CBS News. McCaffrey said the archives became aware of the breach on Tuesday and immediately initiated a review of internal controls, including how and why a technician did not follow standard operating procedures. The National Personnel Records Center also alerted the agency inspector general to the breach and said it contacted Cheryl's congressional office to apologize. So what I think happened here is that operator or that technician knew somebody. It's from New Jersey and knew Jack Chitterelli or his ally to give them the file to hurt Cheryl's reputation, which is working because I think now she's trailing in the polls here. Political campaigns, opposition research firms, and news organizations often seek military records of current and former service members running for elected office for both vetting and purposes and to better inform voters. Military veterans and the next of kin of a deceased former member may request the full breadth of their military service records. The full file is only available to the general public 62 years after they finish their military service. Most likely, these people are dead by that point. When others request those records, only parts of the military files are released, and sections are redacted for privacy or national security reasons. During the tightening New Jersey governor's race, a new poll shows Cheryl and Chitterelli tied. Okay, they're tied. Republicans allied with Chitterelli have been examining Cheryl's military records, looking for information about the Naval Academy cheating scandal, in which over 100 midshipmen were implicated in cheating scandal in their final electrical engineering exam, a notoriously difficult course required for all third-year students who are not engineering majors. Cheryl had an unblemished career in the Navy as a midshipman, received the Navy Achievement Medal in 1991 for saving blah, blah, blah. She saved a classmate. Neither the documents released to National Archives to the Gregorio nor the documents released to CBS News under the Freedom of Information Act spoke to her role in the 94 Navy Academy scandal. A document seen by CBS, blah, 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 released by the archive, showed that Cheryl's name was omitted from a commencement program in May 25th, 1994. The date of the Naval Academy graduation. The program was confirmed to be authentic by the U.S. Naval Academy. While asked by CBS on why her name does not appear in the commencement program, Cheryl said in the statement, "I was an undergraduate at Naval Academy. I did not turn in some of my classmates, so I didn't walk, but graduated and was commissioned as an officer in the U.S. Navy, serving for nearly 10 years, the highest level of distinction and honor." She also added, "Jack Chitterelli and the Trump administration are illegally weaponizing my records for political gain. It's a violation of anyone who ever served their country. No veteran's record is safe." Here, I think that's what they did too. The Trump administration purposely released these files in order to hurt her. But I don't care because I don't like her anyway. She's an establishment Democrat. So it's just Bill Murphy 2.0 here in New Jersey. She wins. So fuck her. Chitterelli did not respond to a comment on the release of her records. He posted on social media about Cheryl not walking at graduation. She called it stunning and deeply disturbing that she was implicated in the scandal, although Cheryl said she did not walk because she refused to report classmates. The White House referred the matter to the National Archives, so they don't want to answer questions about that. Let's see, anything more relevant here? I don't really care about any of this, but this is a really long article. I wasn't going to read all that. Yeah, so that's the New Jersey governor race. Let's see. I like to make up worlds using the Tatorian lore as inspiration of what it may have been before the reset and why it may that occurred. It's an interesting thing. I don't know what that is, but it sounds interesting. Let's see. Ow. Yeah, so guys, I mean, Jesus, almost 9 o'clock. I mean, it is 9 o'clock actually. So I'm just gonna start wrapping up here because my throat's tired, losing my voice, and who knows what else. So programming note: tomorrow is Pro Wrestling Talk. We'll be doing that at 8 o'clock, normal schedule.
And I'll be joining
Sunday, yeah, Alex will be there at 9 to do clips. So on Sunday at 7 o'clock, me, Alex, and hopefully David will join. He said he would join. We'll be previewing the MLB playoffs and review the season, and we'll talk about whether the Yankees get back to the World Series and why Aaron Judge should be the MVP again. There's a lot of controversy and based on who
if
should be
somehow the Red Sox make it to the playoffs, we can possibly see if Karen wins the joint. So
what? And real quick, what's the amazing part is after that Rafael Devers deal, they became one of the best teams in the game. And they're about to make the playoffs.
Even after their trade deadline.
Yeah. And they made that deal before the deadline. And at the time, I think we discussed it during the deadline special. And I was like, or before that actually. And the Red Sox are giving up.
But I don't think they're good enough to make it to be a championship team this year. They don't have that big star player, So
no, they have a lot of good players, but they don't have that one player or two players that can carry a team.
Yeah.
So we'll be discussing baseball on Sunday.
I just want to know how Chapman's back in his dominant form. That's really confusing.
Again, that's amazing. He went from being a scrub with the Yankees to right back to being a elite.
He had an amazing
closer.
2019 season with the Yankees. That was one of his best years. But
well, yeah, that's true. But I'm talking about his ending with the Yankees was bad. Like he refused to do like a bullpen session, and the Yankees basically just sent him home right before the playoffs.
He refused to show up with the Yankees during the playoffs, so they were like, "Okay, so fuck it."
Yeah, they just sent him home and just let him stay home, and he's done. So his contract was up anyways. So
yeah.
We'll be talking baseball on Sunday. I'm really busy this weekend, so I want to thank everybody for watching the show. I'll be back with Witchy for Pro Wrestling Talk tomorrow. I don't know what we're discussing in the first hour. I have no clue, but we'll figure it out. So have a nice weekend. If I don't see you again, if I do, I look forward to seeing you Saturday and Sunday, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. I mean, liking is very important. Even though it doesn't feel like it, but liking is very important. Subscribing to the channels are also very important. I want to thank everybody for their support. I want to thank everybody for their support for INN in general. And I hope everybody's a great weekend. And I'm going to see you guys